So, bam, round 2 is in the books. Here's round 3. Only 4 people got 6 points.
That's it. Only 4.
Look how many people drew. Patrick, Derek, Trip, Rob. So, and people saying cat, yes, Atticus is in the background. We got a bunch of 3-pointers, couple zeros. And this is the House of Cats, so there's cats. And that's Atticus, for those that don't know. He's helped donate to the stream.
Yes, always in a clutch.
You know, not so much of a freeloader like Aegon.
Hey, Aegon is a freeloader. I'll give you that.
So, I'm pretty sure this is the round that we see the exciting stuff.
If you guys want to just come back after about 50 plus minutes, totally cool. We'll be here into turns, I'm sure.
I hope so.
I hope so. Nan's favorite deck, but he won't admit to it, is coming up. But he's the cutest freeloader. You are correct. That's true.
Alright, so sliding over to round 3, guys.
Here we go.
Let's get some...
Everyone's super excited about it.
Excited.
Tron versus Lantern Control. We have Rob Cure, Robber's Delight, playing Tron. Chris Roach, our first patron, owner of Comic Kung Fu, finally deciding to step in and play. And he's playing his own brand of Lantern Control.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely done some tweaks to it as to deal with the current meta. That is that, you know.
Yo, Death and Cat Mix with the follow. Thank you so much, dude.
I like that they're showing off for the camera. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh, he gets your attention too.
Yeah, he does.
He says, "Hey, Brett.
Hey, Brett. Are these cameras looking at me? Oh, okay, great. Here, let me show you my muscles." Blowing kisses to everyone.
All of his new fans sitting at home.
Yep. Just for Death and Cat Mix, he blew those kisses.
He did. Thanks for the follows.
Thanks
Here's
for
some
the
love.
Alright,
but,
you know. So now what we need to do is take that and make it a follow
animation.
Oh,
yeah, that perfect.
Look at that.
That done.
You guys just wait.
I like that a lot, actually.
We're gonna have to.
Oh, this one you were playing Tim.
Oh yeah. For your seat.
For my seat, of all things.
The dumbest deck in the format that Trip is playing. Get those votes in. Let us know. Is it going to be Lantern Control? Is it going to be Tron? Rob on his own brand of Tron, too. Not your regular homebrewed... Not homebrewed. Static Tron list. Robert is not amused.
I'm pretty sure Rob knows what he's facing to going into this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Trip is Tron Eldrazi. There it is.
That's true.
Trip
yeah.
Sorry. No, you're good. Trip has not been quiet about what he's playing. He's let everyone know what brand of troll he actually is.
Well, Kim and I have had discussions about ways to improve the deck and ways to
naturally.
You know.
Yeah.
If someone's going to talk to me about, hey, what do you think I can do to make this deck more streamlined? Or if I, happen to enjoy the deck, I'll say, hey, have you thought about these cards and adding those in there? Mm-hmm. Because why would I not want to optimize the troll factor? So, yeah. Way to improve it, light it on fire. I would have rather played the wall. So, wait a minute. Did you see how he cut? He went like this. Picked up the top, moved it, and then put it right back on top. Says, I don't really care. I'm not gonna, yeah. Alright.
Real question. I believe that's Stoneforge Mystic. Is it too good for Modern?
Yes. Because I don't want to face down a Battered Skull that early.
Sure.
That's my biggest
good point.
reason.
So, starting off with the Tron Tower, into a map, passes the turn.
Without a shadow of a doubt?
Without a doubt. Shadow of a doubt. And Trip starts off with I'm saying Codex Shredder.
It's possible. He could also go for like an Inquisition or something.
Yeah. Oh!
Look at this guy.
Oh man, I need to go buy a lottery ticket right now. Whew. I'm never gonna get that lucky again.
Used all my luck on that one. 2 towers.
Here's 2 towers. Probably not what the Tron player wants. Oh. There's an Emrakul. that gets milled.
And immediately gets shuffled back in. Alright, looks like an Ancient is in there. All kinds of good stuff. But an Emrakul.
Everyone tell all your friends, this is the game that's going to be full of luck, because I just guessed the Codex Shredder. Get him in here.
Get him in. There we go.
Here's a copy. Here is... Oh, no. Oh, the Pixis of Pandemonium.
Yeah. Which exiles a card face down, and he says, I'm going to duress you.
Yeah, duress.
Which this is one of the tweaks that he's made that we've talked about, is going for duress over something like Inquisition. Mainly to deal with the amount of Tron that's in the format. Rob with the Winter Tower.
Are you saying he was prepared?
Yeah, but sadly, he doesn't get any of those targets off of it. And he says...
Real sad.
I'm going to activate, and he says, cool, I'm going to have you mill, and then I'm going to have you exile something. Well, both of us do, for the Pixis.
And that's good on Trip, because he's hoping that maybe he can mill one of those pieces out of the deck to start.
Nice Guy Ron playing Revealed.
Yeah. For everyone at home.
Which, Wormcoil, Reality Smasher... Oh, you're putting up Pixis.
Yep.
Sweet.
I think that was out of Journey into Nyx, is where Pixis came from.
Yeah.
Something
that Pharaoh's Block, if you will.
Wasn't really...
Another modern legal
popular
card that is actually used in Modern.
Yeah, well...
Wasn't super popular. There was a mill deck that ran it for a little bit.
With Phoenix?
There was that one, and then there was like a mono blue devotion mill style that ran it. There was a couple, yeah. I fell asleep against a Lantern Control player at an IQ. Still won the game too. That's awesome. Oh! Alright. I forgot what that guy's name is.
Is that the Metamorph?
Yes.
The Phyrexian Metamorph?
Mm-hmm. That would be it. Loses 2 life to cast it. Hence the Phyrexian part.
So, kind of while Trip is deciding, give us a breakdown of what the Lantern Control deck is trying to do.
So we've already seen a little bit.
Yeah.
It's designed to siphon off your opponent's cards, slowly chip away, and control what they're going to draw. But we just saw a Ensnaring Bridge get landed down, which is one of the lockout pieces of the deck that prevents you from being able to attack if you have a creature with power greater than the number of cards in the controller's hand. So Trip is the one that is controlling the Ensnaring Bridge. It looks like he's got at least 3 cards, so anything with a power of 3 or greater will be able to just sit there, gather dust.
What a nice guy.
What a nice guy. He's got Pithing Needles in the main board there. He's got main boards, Abrupt Decays, things like that. It's a dirtle deck like no other. You basically control what your opponent's going to draw, and you've got ways to win from reoccurring Spell Bomb. You can use your Aether Grid to be able to tap your artifacts and deal damage. Trip runs Tezzeret in here, Agent of Bolus, so he can turn his artifacts into 5/5s, and then eventually do his ult and sit here and make his opponent take damage twice the amount of damage equal to the amount of artifacts he's got, and he'll gain twice that much life. As other wins cons for it. So it's also got a way to look for artifacts. So, but at this point, Trip's just kind of trying to assemble some stuff so Ensnaring Bridge actually gets used. And hey, speak of the devil, Tezzeret coming down. And you can say, you know what? I'm going to turn this into a 5/5 or activate stuff, so it's doing nothing. Great win con. Hairball kind of translating what I'm trying to say, because I'm really bad at words and stuff sometimes. So, Tezzeret or
Card.
Oh, card, not just Tezzeret. Card. Tezzeret. Agent of Bolus, I think is what it actually is. Yeah, target player loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is twice the number of artifacts you control. It's the ult for -4. Starts out at 3 loyalty. You +1. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can reveal an artifact card from among them. Put that into your hand. -1. Target artifact becomes an artifact creature with base power, toughness 5/5.
So Rob laying down the temple, taking another gander at the Ensnaring Bridge.
Yeah, so let me actually adjust the name for it, because it is Tron that he's playing, but he's playing the Tron Eldrazi style.
Rob trying to be cute, saying, I've got this endless one, I'm just going to play it for one. Hopefully, may get an attack or two before Trip empties his hand. And Ancient Stirrings.
Sweet.
So Ghoul Caller's Bell, I saw.
Yeah, one piece that we're currently missing out of Trip is a Lantern of Insight, which reveals the top card of both players' library. But I don't know if it's necessary currently. And he decides, you know what, I'll get a Spell Skite in case you're running some main board removal for my artifacts. Or...
Yep. And here's another Shredder. Let's uptick.
Let's look for another artifact. Top 5 cards.
Oh,
There's a Pithing Needle.
Pithing Needle.
Ah, here's another cool card that we see in that 5.
Infinite Obliteration.
Yes, Infinite Obliteration. So, something that is really, really cool. 1 colorless, black. Sorcery, name a creature card. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. Then that player shuffles his or her library. So, a lot of people run 4-ofs for creatures.
Sure.
It's just common. So this is a great way to disrupt them some more. And it's a great way to, like, say goodbye Ulamog, or, you know, some of those big annoying stuff, Emrakul, and mess with people. Making your opponent drop completely could be the best kind of win. And yeah, the like plan Z is milling your opponent to death, because it takes so long, and like people hate our Lantern control so much because of how frustrating it is to play. Alright, so why not Surgical Extraction? Most of the list run Surgical in the sideboard, but I think this was just another way for Trip to play things in the main, and it works against, you know, some different decks out there.
You know, there's decks that Trip is worried. I believe that Infect is probably a pretty good deck that you would want to play Infinite Obliteration on. You play Infinite Obliteration, yank Blighted Agent out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got to get through, well, he doesn't roll out of creatures. So, maybe not Infect.
Yeah. So, I think it's just something worth trying out. Definitely you'll see people run the surgicals in the sideboard for this kind of deck here. But at this point, Trip is really just like building up, and going to try and kill off Rob with Tezzeret at this point, it looks like. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 artifacts currently. So that's 14 damage right now. Just not bad, but it's not enough to kill him outright.
Right.
Why sideboard? They never make it past game 1. Some ran at main board, but for sure you are definitely going to see it in the sideboard there. And that's the other thing. It's like, it's to actually pilot a Lantern control deck. To pilot a control deck in general, you have to have a decent game knowledge of most of the decks in the format to know what I'm supposed to be countering, what I'm supposed to let through, what I'm supposed to kill now, what I'm supposed to let wait. Lantern control is kind of like that, but you're actually filtering what your opponent gets to draw. So you can sit there and go, alright, I need to make sure that they're only drawing creatures right now, or they're only drawing lands or something, or what could they need extra lands for in this deck? Do I need them to do that? Do I need to make sure they don't get fetch lands, because then they get a filter off and try to save certain things? Like, there's a lot of thinking going into it and what cards exactly people are playing. Lantern is a control version of Affinity. In a similar way, yeah, you're a lot of your cards that you're playing are low costing, 1 mana usually to exile cards and make players discard cards. You run Mox Opals in there, so you get to get some free mana. Spellskite's only 2 mana. You're running Snaring Bridges, which is our 3 mana. So
triggered.
We've got an Affinity player in chat. That's not sure how to respond to that. Oh, look at this. Emmakul's in the hand. I'm triggering. I don't even play Affinity.
Tezzeret gets ticked up.
Alright, 1. Oh, Lantern! Finally!
Alright, so now this is where Trip finally starts seeing a lot of information
Yes.
about what Rob is really playing. So, he sees the Mimic on top of his deck with the Lantern of Insight. And then this is where his mill effects really come into play. He seemed pretty delicate, but I think now is where he's really going to get more aggressive with what he's milling away.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 more artifact, and Trip wins outright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he's at 8 right now. He needs 9. He can deal 18 damage. So, that's the thing. It's like a lot of people have particular decks or particular matchup that they just hate. I think a lot of people hate Lantern Control because they don't like not doing anything. Like prison decks in general just are very frustrating to play against. I'm gonna be super nerd for a second.
Okay.
There was a deck in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh gosh.
When Yu-Gi-Oh! First came out.
Here we go.
And it was just called a control deck. But it had a creature in there called... It was a spirit, so every time you play it, it has to return to your hand at the end of the turn. And it had like 200 attack. Which you're like, oh, 200 attack, that's a lot now. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Where like people can have like 3,000 attack, 200 is nothing. And this creature had an ability that when it dealt damage to a player, they skipped their next draw step. And so the objective of this deck was to strip all the cards from your hand, you know, destroy all of your creatures or whatever, just to make room for this guy and just lock you out of the game. Luckily, after Worlds, it was banned pretty quickly, but that back when, because I'm old and played Yu-Gi-Oh! When the game first came out, that was a thing. So, enough Yu-Gi-Oh! Talk. Let's get to sideboards.
Yeah, Trip's taking game 1. Rob says I've had enough.
The flavors.
So, let's move to sideboards. You want to read Trips?
Yes, I'd love to.
Alright, I'm going to start with Rob.
I'm so pumped for this. So
yes,
go
on
with
Rob's
Rob.
side, 2 Witchbane Orb, 2 Spatial Contortion, 2 Pithing Needle, 1 Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, 1 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 All Is Dust, 1 Phyrexian Metamorph, 2 Relic of Progenitus, and 2 Dragon's Claw. The 2 Pithing Needle, most definitely.
Uh-huh.
And Witchbane Orb.
You have Hexproof.
You have... Okay,
I think... Yeah, destroy all curses attached to you. You have Hexproof!
Mill targets you, so 2 Witchbane Orb, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain things that say both players...
Okay, yeah, that'll get around.
But, though that says target player,
yep.
like the card that you named at the start.
Codex Shredder?
Codex Shredder. Target player. Well, guess what? Codex Shredder is only going to be working against Trip now. So yeah, I think Witchbane Orb's
Pixis
great.
as well, right?
Pixis is both players exile.
Players?
So yeah,
Okay, yep.
Trip would be exiling from that too.
But on Trip's side, I know you're super excited. Let's hear it.
Look at this. He's running 3 Archive Trap, guys. So first, for those don't remember, Archive Trap is an amazing card. Costs 5 mana, or if your opponent shuffle or their library or search their library, I should say, it costs 0, and they mill 13 cards. I love this. I'm a huge fan of this.
I mean, in a format where you know that your opponent, at least 7 chances out of 10, is going to fetch for something.
Search for something, yeah. And like, especially when people that are running fetches, holding them specifically to try to save cards that might get milled. So this is, I love this plan. 2 Surgical Extractions, 1 Nature's Claim, 1 Pyrite Spell Bomb, 1 Grafdigger's Cage, 1 Gaither Pour... It's the Aether Grid.
Gearper?
That's the one. Aether Grid, guys. 1 Welding Jar, 3 Leyline of Sanctity, 1 Seal of Primordium, and 1 Natural State. So, I love bringing in the Surgicals here. Because that's something you can say when Emrakul hits the graveyard and the trigger goes on the stack to shuffle it back in, you say, Blammo, exile him. So I like that. I like the grid coming in. I think that's a good way to do things. Oh, look, he's showing us some of the stuff he's taking out. And Rob's just smiling at the camera.
Hold the...
Yes, Archive Traps. The Surgical's coming in for sure. And it looked like Natural State was another one that he brought in. Probably the Seal as well. But yeah, I love the Archive Trap idea here. So that's going to be cool. Yeah, being able to have Hexproof for Rob is great. The Pithing Needles is a great card, worth bringing in. So a lot of good stuff coming out from these players. But there's 26 minutes left in the round.
True.
So
And they're only on game 2.
Only on game number 2. Can Rob be able to win this match and move his way into game 3 and hope for a draw, maybe? Sometimes, like, you have to do that against this deck as a laner control player. You're just gonna have to go, you know what, I'm gonna hope that I get a draw this round. or I'm gonna hope that I can beat him, but maybe I just gotta go for a draw. Never thought I'd want Eldrazi to win. Truth. But I don't. Give me a Lantern control over Eldrazi any day of the week. Alright, players deciding. Keeper Mole. Do I want this hand, yes or no? And I'm only level 14, not 15.
Oh, okay. That's good.
That's good.
Trip, super excited about his configurations, and you know what? I'm gonna keep these cards.
Mm-hmm.
This is fine.
All this is fine. Just what I wanted. Again, like, playing against an Eldrazi deck and you're running main board ways to shut them from attacking is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So Trip's really happy about that aspect to it. So how's our straw poll looking?
One to 0 for Lantern control.
Okay.
So Pithing Needle for Rob.
What did he name? Pixis? The Pandemonium?
So, I mean, he saw pretty much everything that the Lantern control deck is, and we'll have to... This is why we need Eminem.
Yeah. Alright, Lantern to start things off. Well, yeah, Ancient Stirring is into a Lantern. That's a sweet art for that Pithing Needle.
I think he also has one of the coveted foil Pithing Needles.
Ooh.
Not signed.
Not signed, but that's okay. So, Academy Runes comes down, we see, ooh, double Lantern, Mox, triple Lantern.
Oh my.
He says, I want to always look at your deck. Now, Thought Knot Seer is pretty sweet, because you can definitely disrupt what your opponent's going to be doing. Does he have a Temple, though, to, like, sneak him out? No, but that's not bad.
Matter Reshaper comes down for Rob. Passes the turn back. Okay, so Ensnaring Bridge into a Gold Collar spell. Just to kind of firm things up for this game, too.
Ooh, Oblivion Sower on top. I like that. Alright. Here's a Ghost Quarter. Target non-land. Sorry about it. Okie dokies. Endless one. So he can say an endless one for one and hope that Trip doesn't play that Thoughtseize there.
Man, these two just hate fun.
Yeah. Emrakul. You may shuffle those. That is fine. Resolves. You may lose 2 to do that. Look at them. The dice are back on the screen somehow. And Ghost Quarter on top. That's fine. I think it's on Pixis of Pandemonium. Because if you think about the cards that will... Like, if he definitely brought in Orb, shutting off
Pixis
or the
Ghoul
Ghoul Caller
Caller
spell is where you should be at. But he didn't see any Ghoul Caller spells game 1. He definitely
Sure.
saw the Pixis. I mean, so you can assume that he's running it because it is Lantern Control, but to be on the safe side, probably Pixis.
Name something that you know
Or
you
he
saw.
could say Tezzeret. You know, one of those.
Sure.
That as an option. But I think that him saying Pixis is better because at least to start off with, because he knows that the Pixis will has an option to exile Emrakul, and then he won't get that shuffle back in. So
here's a Codex Shredder. Oh. Hey dude, Evercool's sitting right on top.
He says, yeah, I'll gain a life. Off the post here. Is at 21. 21 to 18. Alright, let's take a look at our land.
Chip gonna draw. Here's another Codex Shredder, keeping my hand at 0.
So, this is the point where you say, you may draw this. And we're going to see him Ghost Quarter's own land to put Emrakul back in there so it's not on top. Because he needs that option to be able to shuffle his cards back in. Rob getting worried that there was not another waste. And there's a tower on top. Trip checks to make sure that's not Tron and says, yes, you may have it. And passes over. And we see Codex Shredder. Trip's just getting rid of some lands. He's like, I don't need lands, but I need other stuff. And, ooh, an Archive Trap. Which he could... you know, hard cast if you wanted, but
Sure.
says, no. And now you know, spoiler alert, that I've got that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looked, love our player cams because you could see kind of reactions.
Yes.
And Rob was like, oh no. You run Archive Trap on their side?
What is happening?
Get out of here.
Alright, untap. Looks like he's going to keep that cage, perhaps, on top. Alright, so Trip sitting here debating, do I start cycling now and hope to draw something better? And that's where he decides, yeah. Sure, I'll get that land.
Ooh, is that surgical extraction?
And that's what it looks like. Surgical on the top. It says, you may have that land. Endless one. Ghost Quarter. you may go. You may mill your Endless one, and you may mill that power plant. So you
Get
may
rid of
not
that power
have
plant.
Tron. There's another mine on top, which is fine. Surgical, and he can say...
Power plant.
Yeah, I mean, power plant seems like a safe bet. Ghost Quarter on Academy Ruins. And he says,
Yeah.
I'm not going to search.
Yeah, he's like, oh, go ahead. Go get a land.
I will draw for my turn.
Trying to bait Trip into shuffling that surgical extraction back into his deck.
He also has the option to just wait and hold the surgical and just activate it when he wants. And just be like, hey, your Evercool is about to go in the graveyard, I'll just get rid of it. But really, like, the power plant seems like a solid bet. But as long as he does not keep 3 cards in his hand, he'll be okay. So it's interesting. We now have we've got 2 players that are rocking out the Tron Eldrazi, and at least 1 Bant Eldrazi player now. A couple of Tron players in general, though, for our shop. So if you're playing any land destruction decks, or thinking about coming up to Comic Kung Fu for our Tuesday Night Monarchs, bring sideboard stuff to deal with Tron. Just a little heads up.
Tron all day, every day.
All day, every day.
September 18th is probably going to be filled with Tron.
It's coming up soon for our next IQ at Comic Kung Fu, which we will be recording. Probably not live. It would be nice to do it live, but I don't think we're getting it set up right now to have it live.
No.
Oh, look, I almost fell asleep right here.
So Abrupt Decay comes down, hitting that Pithing Needle.
Smart. Just, get rid of one annoying thing.
Shred away that power plant.
I mean, he can let him keep the Thought Knot in response to the cast, Surgical. But we'll start seeing the Shredder go to town again.
Shred away the Thought Knot Seer. Hey, look! It's an Eldrazi temple.
Jarman Twin saying, I try to get interested in Lantern, but it's so lame. Sorry for the hate. That is okay. You do not have to apologize. There's been plenty of people that do not like the deck. I am definitely in the minority of fans of the Lantern Control deck. But it is definitely something that people need to...
They need to know about it.
They need to know, because it is definitely something you're going to see at GPs. Some IQs, some opens and stuff like that, you'll see it. But definitely at GPs, there's going to be at least one Lantern Control running around. There's probably more than that, because people are hateful.
Yep.
But it's a thing, and people need to understand how the deck works, what ways they can combat it and try to disrupt it and interact with it. I don't know about that, but it's definitely a frustrating deck to play against. We'll be doing honest. Oh man, bunch of jerks all day. I'll say it.
Here's a Ghoul Caller's Bell.
Tron is even worse than that.
Hey, look, a Reality Smasher.
You can have that. Facial Contortion. +3, -3. I'm gonna smash you with this Reality Smasher. Season 1 champion laying down the law. That is true.
Oh.
If I just wanted, instead of using my brain, I have more time for Pokemon Go. Hey, everyone loves Pokemon Go. And if you don't, It's because I don't know why you don't like Pokemon Go. You out there watching at home, why aren't you playing Pokemon Go? I appreciate you sitting with us and watching the stream, but you can play from the comfort of your own home.
It's true. You'll only get pitchies, though.
I got an Eevee during the stream.
Don't tell people that.
Oh, I'll tell them. Got an Eevee, guys. BT dubs. That one time that I was like, hey, Brett, talk about lambs or something that I did. And I'll tell you why I don't like Pokemon Go. Hit us with it.
Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre on top.
Oh yeah, old school Ulamog.
Get that out of here.
Surgical in response. I'll lose 1 life instead of 2.
Yeah.
It's missing out on being what it could be. You'll have to explain that in a little more detail. It could be actual Pokemon battles like the game, but walk around to catch them. That is, I mean, it is possible that that might be a feature that they add in, like, and set it up at certain locations or now battle locations. You know, you can battle anybody at that location, kind of thing. Who knows?
I mean, the thing is people are already getting robbed, so I worry about what happens when you actually try to battle a real life person.
I mean, there's a thing. That's a great face, Rob. There's a thing known as common sense that doesn't exist very much when people are playing this game, it seems. When I was up in New York, in the newspaper, there was a teenager that wrapped his car around a pole playing Pokemon Go and driving. Luckily, he was fine. Totaled the car. But, like, it's just, I don't know, common sense. Like, if you're, and maybe it's more difficult, like, you can't go with a group of people to go for a Pokemon walk and go to these locations and you're getting robbed, whatever, because you're living in a location where people aren't available or something. I don't know. But it's, I don't know, just those little things. Ooh, promo surgical. Back to Magic, though. We need to do a Ravnica draft at some point.
Mm-hmm.
We need player cams set up for the draft portion, too.
We've got lots of cameras now.
Yes, we do. We could actually get multiple... How many cameras could we set up for a draft that it wouldn't be too confusing? Could we set up multiple spots? And Rob's like, yeah, I've had enough. Yeah.
So Rob, fighting the good fight, trying to put the Lantern Control player out from Sanity, the Heat Death of the Universe. But it just wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough. Hey guys, how's it going? Round 3 is in the books.
This is the point in the stream where we try to bring everyone back to us.
Guys, it's okay. Lantern Control's over. Come on back.
Lantern Control is over. And hey, here we are.
And we're back. And because it's halfway through the show, we do kind of our normal stuff and say thank you. You, carbon-based life form, sitting at home in front of your computer, or wherever you may be sitting, whether you're watching us live or watching us from the VODs, thank you. You, right there, thank you. We appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes this all the more awesome for us because we love being able to play Modern, we love playing Magic, we love sitting here and talking about it.
Yep.
And we love that we can bring this exciting coverage to you. Even if the matches might not be as exciting, they're educational. Hopefully. Sometimes. So, we've got some thank yous to give out as our norm. We've got, of course, our 2 top patron players, 2 top donors, if you will, from the patron page would be Trip and Eminem. And they, of course, have opted up for Cork Street Tavern, the official Pokestop of Modern Magic Mondays. Go get some delicious food. They've got
Yes.
great ribs.
Yes.
Have a drink.
Shameless promotion, as we still promote Pokemon Go.
Comic Kung Fu, where all these matches are recorded. Of course, Trip has been nice enough to donate to the patron page, and we've got his lovely logo there because that's where all this action takes place. There are events that happen continually, not just Modern, but that's what we're here for.
Yep.
So make sure you guys are checking them out. If you check on Twitch as well, there's a link to their Facebook page, and you can check all that stuff out. Of course, we've got our top stream donations from #1 man himself, Drewski Brew, mystery donor Atticus, Tatradamus, Dionysus, Bacchus also was able to donate to the stream, Nate Hop 34, and Bergleton.
You guys are sick. Thank you all so much for all of your continued support in this. Like Nan said, we could not do this without you guys. It is what we love to do, but you gotta have players, you gotta have people to watch, and that's where you guys come in. So thanks.
Thank you. So you're doing other content.
Yeah.
So where can they find your stuff?
Yeah, so
what are you doing?
Yeah, so at FarmZernar, Twitch / @FarmZernar, you can catch me doing all sorts of variety gaming. I've got Casual Fridays at 7 p.m. On Fridays. Just playing currently Majora's Mask right now, but always something different. Weekends, always just, a little bit of variety, always trying to play something new. And then coming up soon, hopefully, WWW Wednesdays, where we play online games.
What?
So that'll be fun. Yeah, getting that together to hopefully. But I need a new computer first, so that's what I'm waiting on there.
Cool.
How about you, dude?
So we've got Modern Magic Mondays over here. Saturdays have started to become our fantasy days, I guess you will. Warcraft 3,
Okay.
D&D,
Yeah.
Diablo, that sort of stuff. We're also going to be doing Pokemon
It's
versus
true.
Red vs. Blue, Get Brett Drunk, whatever you want to call it. Will be taking place this Saturday evening. We'll get the exact time posted up for you guys over on Twitter, so make sure you guys are following us on Twitter to know when that stuff is going to be going up, because we're going to be setting milestones and markers that, like, first one to evolve a Pokemon, guess what? The other person drinks! He's going to say me, but, we'll see. First one to beat a gym, get through Mount Moon, like, little milestones, and then, you guys can donate money to make Brett drink more and things like that. So we'll figure it out. As an owner of 3 cats, this is true. Yes. But we've got that on Saturdays, and soon we're trying to finalize the details for it. But we're going to start doing Let's Play with Honanaho, which Holly and I are going to be doing some streaming, and I think if things get sorted out, we might start on Sunday.
Cool.
We're going to start with Armorkrog, which is claymation, point-and-click adventure from the guys that did Earthworm Jim and stuff like that. So that might be a continual stuff that we're going to be doing. But yeah, just starting to do a little bit more stuff on the weekends, but for sure, Mondays, you'll always be able to see Magic. So if you guys like this stuff, make sure you're following us on Twitter, because that's the best place to find out what projects and what stuff that we are working on. But yeah, that's it for round number 3. So
Round 4. Let's do it. Let's see the
slide over.
points.
Where are we at? On
Now, mind you, a lot of our players